Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC P0532, indicates an anomaly in the AC pressure sensor circuit, specifically that the output voltage of the AC pressure sensor is lower than specified limits. This component plays a crucial role in monitoring the refrigerant pressure within the air conditioning system, sending a corresponding voltage signal to the powertrain control module, PCM. When the PCM identifies that this voltage is below 0.24 volts, it registers fault, leading to the triggering of this DTC. The AC pressure sensor is typically mounted near the AC compressor or on the AC line, where it can accurately gauge the pressure of the refrigerant. Understanding this DTC is vital for proper AC system function, as failure to diagnose or repair can lead to inadequate cooling and further complications within the system. The AC pressure sensor is a vital component that detects the refrigerant pressure in the air conditioning system and communicates this information to the powertrain control module, PCM. If the output voltage of the sensor falls below a certain threshold, specifically 0.24 volts, the PCM determines that there is an abnormal condition, which leads to the logging of DTC P0532. This abnormal voltage can indicate a malfunction within the AC pressure sensor itself, an issue with the external circuitry, or potentially a fault within the PCM. The sensor's location is typically found along the AC lines or near the AC compressor, making it directly involved in the cooling process. Proper understanding and location of this component are crucial for effective troubleshooting. A few factors may trigger the DTC P0532, starting with a faulty AC pressure sensor. If the sensor itself is defective, it can lead to incorrect voltage readings, which would immediately raise concern for the PCM. Additionally, issues in the external circuit can include damaged wiring or connections, anything that might interfere with the signal that the AC pressure sensor sends to the PCM. Next, the PCM can also be at fault for malfunctioning, which could mean that it doesn't process information correctly or fails to interpret the voltage signal accurately. Each of these possibilities needs to be thoroughly inspected as part of the diagnostic procedure to identify the root cause effectively. Symptoms associated with DTC P0532 can include poor performance from the air conditioning system. Drivers may notice that the cabin fails to cool down as expected, indicating inadequate refrigerant pressure sensing or even complete system failure. Increased cabin temperatures are indicative of this anomaly, as the compressor may not be engaging properly due to perceived fault conditions generated by the PCM. Additionally, when a diagnostic scanner is used, this DTC will be displayed, further affirming the need for troubleshooting. It's essential to pay attention to these symptoms, as they can also lead to increased wear on the AC components, resulting in more extensive repairs if not addressed promptly. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0532 involves preparing the vehicle for diagnostic testing. Start by turning the vehicle to the on mode, which powers up the electrical systems without starting the engine. Following this, the blower switch needs to be activated to ensure that the vehicle's air conditioning system is functioning in a manner that allows for accurate testing. Subsequently, turning on the AC switch is essential to engage the air conditioning system and trigger the sensors. By following this sequence, you create the environment needed to read the output voltage from the AC pressure sensor effectively. Completing this step sets the stage for understanding the voltage readings that will follow in the diagnostic process. Once the vehicle is prepared, the next critical step is to analyze the AC pressure sensor's output voltage. Utilizing a scan tool or Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, You can check the voltage value produced by the sensor while the vehicle is in the on mode and the AC is engaged. An acceptable reading should be greater than 0.24 volts. If the reading is below this threshold, it confirms an anomaly in the system. At this point, it's essential to document this failure duplication, as it directly indicates that the sensor is likely malfunctioning or there is an issue within its circuit. This step is paramount for determining the next course of action in the diagnostic and repair process. The third troubleshooting step involves disconnecting the AC pressure sensor connector for further inspection. This disconnection allows you to isolate the sensor and examine its connections. Next, inspect the PCM connector to measure resistance to ascertain the integrity of the circuits involved. The voltage reading across the AC pressure sensor needs to indicate that resistance is suitable, generally suggesting that there should be less than 1 ohm of resistance along the involved pathways. Additionally, thoroughly check for any visible damage or corrosion at the wire connections. This inspection can uncover hidden issues that might not be apparent, and it's crucial for ensuring each component in the circuit is working correctly and efficiently. For the fourth step in troubleshooting DTC P0532, you will conduct an open circuit inspection to ensure that the wiring and connections are intact. This includes checking for any breaks in the circuit that would prevent voltage from traveling to the PCM or returning the signal from the sensor. Pay special attention to continuity, ensuring that there are no interruptions in the line that could alter the voltage readings. Utilize the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to confirm that all readings align with expected operational values. This will validate the integrity of both the AC pressure sensor and the wiring harness, essential for diagnosing the DTC accurately. In this step, confirming that the signal quality is optimal is critical for rectifying the issue accurately. In this final troubleshooting step, if all prior inspections indicate normal conditions, the next focus is the Powertrain Control Module, or PCM. The PCM is essentially the vehicle's computer, managing several critical functions, including sensor data interpretation. Utilize the diagnostic tool to check for any previous faults logged that might indicate prior electrical or sensor issues. If no faults are present, closely analyze its operation to confirm that it accurately interprets the signals from the AC pressure sensor and other components. If anomalies still persist after all checks, it may be necessary to replace the PCM, as it may not be processing information as it should. This step solidifies the diagnostic process and helps ensure the air conditioning system behaves appropriately. After all troubleshooting steps for DTC P0532 have been performed and repairs are made, it is essential to conduct a final verification to ensure everything is functioning correctly. Start by rechecking the AC pressure sensor to ensure that it is properly installed and connected. All electrical connections should be secure, with no signs of wear or damage. Following this, test the entire AC system to confirm that it is operating normally and that the cooling functionality has been restored. Monitor the system's performance to see if any DTCs are re-registered during or after the test. This final validation is vital to guaranteeing the repair's success and making sure the AC operates effectively in the long run. Engaging in preventive maintenance for the AC system can help avert future occurrences of DTC P0532 and maintain optimal performance. Schedule regular AC inspections to catch any potential issues early on, ensuring that the system operates at its fullest capacity. Additionally, check refrigerant levels in the system to confirm they are within the manufacturer's specifications, as improper levels can affect performance and sensor readings. Maintain and clean electrical connections to prevent corrosion and wear, which can lead to diagnostic trouble codes, including P0532. Being proactive with maintenance can significantly enhance the longevity of the air conditioning system, allowing for a pleasant driving experience. In conclusion, understanding the role of the AC pressure sensor in the Honda Accord is paramount, as it is integral to the vehicle's air conditioning system functionality. DTC P0532 signifies a low voltage output, which can arise from several causes, including a faulty sensor, damaged wiring, or a malfunctioning PCM. Throughout the troubleshooting process, each step requires thorough inspection and verification to ascertain whether the components are functioning correctly. It is essential to document findings meticulously and to validate all connections, as these will influence the system's reliability. Regular preventive maintenance further reduces the likelihood of encountering DTCs, ensuring an efficient and comfortable driving experience. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.